The scientist sculpted a human face for the robot using silicone. Under his magical craftsmanship, the face gradually took shape. To install it, he carefully removed the robot's outer shell. The robot was startled when it saw itself in the mirror. The scientist sprayed bionic skin onto its hands and implanted hair into its scalp. He connected the robot's internal structures with its outer layer. Finally, the robot had a human appearance. The robot's name was Andrew. Andrew immediately returned to the second young Mrs. residence. His appearance frightened the woman. She didn't recognize Andrew. An elderly lady approached. It turns out she was the second young miss all along. The woman was her granddaughter. Andrew had already been away from this home for 20 years. The second young lady's eyes were filled with nothing but Andrew, just like when she was a child. Who would have thought that their next meeting, it was the final moments of the second young lady's life. At the moment of death, the second young lady clutched a small wooden horse, the first gift Andrew had ever given her. Andrew saw Portia sad and crying. He said,
"It's cruel that you can cry and I cannot. There is a terrible pain I cannot express."
Andrew wanted to express human emotions, so he went back to the scientist. The scientist built a full set of mechanical organs for him, including a central nervous system. Andrew could finally feel human emotions. Andrew went to see Portia immediately, letting her poke his eyes. During this time, Andrew loved to take walks and chat with Portia. His gentlemanly manners and sense of justice made Portia happy and relaxed. At the dance, the two glided across the floor, making Portia momentarily forget Andrew was a robot, just like lovers in the throes of passion. But in reality, Portia was already engaged. Andrew's initial settings was to politely say congratulations. Andrew's coldness made Portia suddenly angry. Andrew didn't understand why she was upset. On the day of the engagement, Andrew sneaked into the venue and mocked her future husband. The scientist reminded him he was jealous. Only those in love could feel jealousy. Robots didn't have emotions by nature. Andrew set aside his previous rationality and confessed his love to Portia. It even persistently pursued her. Portia was eventually moved, but love between a human and a robot was destined to be misunderstood by society. For this, Andrew embarked on a long legal battle. The judge's reasoning was, people could accept an immortal robot, but they could not accept an immortal human. Andrew could only continue living with Portia as a robot for decades. Andrew's appearance never changed, while Portia gradually aged. This made Andrew go back to the scientist and give up immortality to become human. After receiving this special blood, Andrew also faced the end of life. Once again, he stood in court with an aged face. On the day the verdict was announced, the result no longer mattered. What mattered was that Andrew and Portia had completed the final journey of life together. Portia asked the nurse to turn off the life support. A tear fell from the nurse's eye. That nurse was the female robot.